All right, ERP Hero with you, and today I want to talk about deploying your ERP information and ERP Enterprise Resource Planning Software, and in this case, it's NetSuite specific, and it's so important for you to enter the ERP data correctly. And you will notice this later on during the process. So the training on the front end and setting the processes up on the front end is so critical. And you could do this a variety of ways. And small businesses, and that's where I have 2 decades of experience. A lot of this is so new for small businesses and it's so critical. And so small businesses need to do embrace the new technologies and these new processes delicately and proactively, and they need to do it with kindness and encouragement and celebrate the milestones. And a lot of that includes change. So small businesses, the advantage is they have all their flexibility, and now when they move to an ERP, it's a little bit more, it might feel a little bit more corporate, but it's best practice. And these wonderful technologies are the same technologies that $100 million companies use and $1 billion companies use, and that's the beauty, is this scalability and this competitive advantage, right? Down to the small business level. But at the same time, it means you can't just do what you want, because that's an exception to the process. So how do you go about that change? Well, you need to understand, right, some vision casting. And through these 20 years of small business experience now, I've learned the importance of vision casting. So what's your organization's purpose? And what's your vision? And what's your mission statement? What are your values? What's your strategy and tactics? Your ERP is probably a strategy. And if you can't effectively communicate your vision and how the ERP is going to help fulfill your vision and mission, and if you can't incorporate your values on this transition, it might be a little bit bumpier, but you're going to also need to incorporate the encouragement and the forgiveness. People are human, right? And as we grow, you want to encourage that change. And so I mention all that because it is now 13 months later after an implementation, and we're now looking at data mining. We have all this wonderful data. That's where we've gone to the ERP, and we have all this quote information. We're going, yes, let's mine the data. All these quotes, open quotes, close quotes, all this industry information, customer categories. And so let's start mining this data. What industries are we quoting in? Where are we doing well in? And the information's not there. Why is the information not there? The sales team didn't want to adapt. And since the sales team didn't want to adapt, the management team said they didn't have to. Why? Because the implementation, the culture didn't want to change. And by clicking 2 more boxes when setting up a customer, that was just too much. And if this was all explained on the front end, this company would now have a lot of usable data. Of course, this is all in hindsight, and I'm sharing this now to show you the power of the data that could have had. But now this company has about less than 1%, about 0.7%, 0.5%, something like that, of usable information, which means it doesn't have information. Well, why is this information important? If I could see that if the management team, and if I could help mine that information for the management team on the data, on the industries that they're quoting from, you could then identify what industries are growing and what industries are contracting. In an ERP, you could then find the areas and locations that are growing and contracting. Why is that so important? Here you go. Write this down, right? This is one of those write those down moments. During the Great Recession, I saw a lot of things coming, and I tried to warn my clients, and I couldn't. And the ones that listened, they made it through okay. And then I saw all the pain. And it was a small business depression. So I started calling some of it to clients. I started calling it wasn't a Great Recession. It was a small business depression. And I went to a meeting. I said, it's a small business depression. I coined that phrase. And you know what the client responded? The client responded, does that mean we're only going to grow by 10% or 20%? And I went out to my car and I just sat there after the meeting. I went, new mindset, growth mindset. Where is the opportunity? Did you know Austin, Texas, most of Texas didn't know that there was a Great Recession? How about the Dakotas? Why did they not know there was a recession? Location and industries, technology and oil. Your ERP can help you mine that information, but it has to be entered accurately and on the front end so you could then mine it and find it. Whatever the national economy does, a lot of that is noise. And so you need to find the clarity. Where are your growth opportunities? Where are the industries that are growing for your business, for your customers? The information's right there. You could have it. What is your competitive advantage? Is it your mindset? Is it your data? Is it your process? Is it your kindness? Is it your encouragement? Is it your technology? Is it your wisdom? What is your competitive advantage? And how are you going to make your vision come true? And that is what I wanted to share with you today.